All right, my friends, this week on Prof and Dev Play Games, we look forward to the games that are ahead. Stay tuned. All right, my friends, welcome to episode 454 of Prof and Dev Play Games. Before I get into the rigmarole, I'm going to ask you to like our podcast where you're listening, subscribe, tell a friend, pass on the news about our podcast. We'd love to have more listeners and get it out there a bit more. Thank you so much. I usually put that at the end of the podcast, but I'm going to put it at the front here. So please tell a friend, share on social media, let people know that we are here. I am Larry, the Prof, at Prof Plays Games on Blue Sky, and over there's Anthony, the Dev, at Summer Speak on Blue Sky. How are you, Anthony?
I'm doing well. It's been a relaxing weekend overall. Got to stay inside most of the time, have a fire. Been very cold up in the Pacific Northwest, but actually finally feels like winter. Yeah, finally feels like winter. We haven't been pretty above normal, so
that's good.
It's been nice to have a little cool. Yeah, a little blast of cold air.
It's good. It's pretty warm down here. You know, the fires we've had down here. We've had like 1 day of rain, and we're supposed to have more rain this coming week. So that would be welcome for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, who was it? My in-laws who live down there were saying that it's been that brief amount of rain you had a bit ago was like the first time in a long time.
Yeah, which is crazy because last winter we had so much rain. It was unbelievable how much rain we had. And then we had nothing for like 9-10 months, not even 1 day, not a drop. So we had a little bit, 1 day's worth. So
that's why it was so dry down there.
Yeah. I mean, when it rains a ton here, a ton of stuff grows and then dries out. So we have a lot more kindling basically. So yeah, none of it is good.
No, but I'm glad they're getting some rain. That should be nice.
Yeah. It'll be, hopefully it does. The weather people here are not always accurate, so yeah. I'll believe it when I see it, I guess.
Sure. I mean, that's how I feel up here. Usually I feel like accuracy is about 72 hours out is pretty good. Beyond that is a completely crapshoot.
Yeah, exactly.
Up in this Seattle area, we're like, I don't know, something will happen. Probably rain, because that's typical, but you never know.
You never know. Well, things we do know are some games are coming out this year, and some of them we're excited about. And we're going to talk about a few of those. We did our Fantasy Critic where we drafted some of the ones we were excited about, and now we're going to talk about some of the ones that we actually want to play. And we have the good fortune of knowing that at least a few that are already coming out, thanks to the Xbox thing and a couple of other release dates coming in February. So I think I know the answer to this, but I will ask it anyways. What's on top of your list, the thing that you're most excited about?
Okay, we're in February now?
We're in February.
Very second when we're recording, so I've got like 26 days. Monster Hunter Wilds. Let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah, man. That's this is the first one for next gen, right? There's no PS4 version, or am I wrong?
No PS4 version, and it simultaneously launches on PC.
Oh, very nice. That's not usual for them, right?
It's cross-play.
Wow.
No, it's not. This is the first time that they've in the Worlds didn't launch on PC to start, and Rise was Switch exclusive for a while. But this is it's cross-platform from the get-go and cross-play. So
very cool.
Play with everyone wherever they need to be. Yeah, I'm excited. I've kind of not looked at much of it, mostly because I want to be surprised going in. There's a beta event on February 6th. So is that Friday, I believe? Yeah, or Thursday night. Thursday through like Sunday, they're doing a beta weekend again. Server testing more than anything.
Sure.
See if I'll jump in or not. And at some point before the 28th, they're going to release like the character creator, so you can, or at least a version that has, so you can work on your character. Because I've briefly seen it and heard that the character customizer is even more insane than Worlds. So,
so give you like hours and hours to fuck that.
So I'm gonna have to spend hours just like making my perfect hunter and their Palico friend.
That's nice because you could jump right in when it launches on the 28th and not have to worry about that.
Oh, I'm so excited for this game.
And you're playing with your same friends that you always play with?
Yeah.
That's cool. Very cool.
Yeah, that should always be a fun time. I feel like the beginning of it will probably all be kind of solo up to a certain point, and then we'll start grouping up. The open world part seems really cool with it. I've seen some stuff that they've just taken a lot of feedback from Worlds and Rise and really incorporated that into the game with like how the weapons feel, very open to like the Western audience as well on this one. There's been stuff where they like the Japanese Capcom devs in Japan are having like regular meetings with the Western community organizers.
And what are the community organizers? Like this,
collecting feedback from the West and
from
like
players?
From players.
Okay.
And just trying to like collate that, being like, this is what people in the West really want out of this game. Because Worlds was, I think it's, I actually had looked at the data recently. Worlds is the best selling Capcom game ever.
Really?
It's 25 million copies or something.
Wow. So it sold more than Rise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Worlds is, it's a lot, and people, what about Resident Evil and stuff? Resident Evil 5 was 14 million. Monster Hunter World is 27 million.
Wow. So they have something big on their hands.
Yeah, and World was the first one that really hit in the West, like in a critical mass kind of way, and I think they don't want to alienate that. They're like, wait a second, people outside of Japan really want to play this type of game.
Let's have something here.
Yeah. So Rise was like 18 million or something like that, so not horribly far behind.
Well, that's still really good. Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, actually, Capcom as a whole has been doing pretty great ever since kind of World. They've been putting out some bangers.
Well, I mean, they're like in their renaissance, right? All the remakes of Resident Evil, Street Fighter 6. Hit.
Yep.
Other stuff. Even Kinesugami, I know it was a small thing, but it was critically well.
I think it did pretty well. The Devil May Cry 5 in 2019 sold like almost 9 million. All the Resident Evils have been doing great. Monster Hunter. And then, they do these like small things that may not like sell to like tens of millions, but seem to be like appropriately budgeted, I would say, for what they expect that they're going to sell, and let their teams make some small creative things here and there. I'm actually been pretty impressed overall, but Monster Hunter Wilds. Are you going to jump in at all? Or are you like, nah?
I'm not. No, I'm not spending much on new stuff this year. And when a new thing comes out that I'm kind of excited to see what it's like I'm going to jump in the Worlds. I'm going to try Worlds or Rise, one of the two. Probably Rise, actually. Although I do want to see if I can get that Geralt skin in Worlds.
Right, and World.
Yeah. So I'm just going to check out the old ones that I have. Like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is out soon. It looks really cool.
Tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. Tomorrow, Tuesday.
Tomorrow as this this will post on Monday, so it'd be Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Just checking out the previous iteration of something. So I'm looking at, I didn't realize that I had a game that released on Fantasy Critic. Oh, interesting. Oh,
you did.
Dang, I'm actually at negative 13.
Yes, you are.
Okay, I see now. I was like, wait a second, is that a minus? That's a minus. I should not have counterpicked Rift of Necrodancer, I guess. Jesus.
It's still pretty good overall.
Wow. I should have chosen Dynasty Warriors Origins, which had a worse score. Wow, that's interesting. Well, I'm glad it's doing well.
I've had 3 games get reviewed so far.
Yeah, Citizen Sleeper 2 is doing really well. 18 or 16, I mean.
Yeah. These are all landing roughly where I expected. Dynasty Warriors a little lower, but
it is rough to counterpick when you have to counterpick during the draft, because you're counterpicking like the best games basically. So it is what it is.
And you counterpicked one that I'm like, no,
I'm fucked, dude.
Do you want to counterpick that one?
I really probably shouldn't have. No, and this was before that, where I was like, this could go either way.
That's what I mean. Now you've seen more info.
Yeah, now that I've seen more info, I should not have counterpicked it. I'll tell you that. Because it's actually, I probably should have counterpicked Blueprints, to be honest. No, you picked that.
No, I drafted that one.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I didn't have a lot of choices.
It's a hard one to pick here. Yeah, honestly, I don't know. I look at the rest of my list. I'm like, I don't know. Dynasty Warrior Origins would have probably been the next one at most.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's going to be competitive this year, which is great.
Yeah.
But the one that I counterpicked is the one that I'm most excited about, and that's Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Yeah. After that Xbox Direct and just seeing a little bit more, I mean, it at least looks fantastic. It looks like they know what they're doing, and it looks like they know what people want from this kind of game. And lately, having dug more into Final Fantasy and just realizing how comfy that series feels and how far away they've gotten from those comfier times with 15 and 16, I can see why people are excited about something that kind of moves back to a turn-based RPG. So, I think it looks incredible. I'm curious to see how the reviews go. I think that the $50 price point is going to help it. They announced on social media somewhere that they sold out of their collector's editions rather quickly and are not really going to be able to print anymore. And it sounds like their standard editions are also looking not sold out yet, but they said that stock was getting low. So people want this. People are excited about this. That doesn't translate into an amazing game, but what they've shown so far, I haven't seen a flaw yet. So
yeah. It looks really well, and they're talking about it in the ways that I would hope they would talk about it. I think if anything, if the stuff now, if it falls down, is probably going to be more nitpicky stuff, or if people just don't like the story more than anything. Because gameplay wise looks fine. I'm like, okay, this seems like competent. It looks pretty. It knows what it's doing. The turn-based combat. It's so that part doesn't worry me at all. It's really just probably going to come down to like how they're conveying the story and presentation of that more than anything. But
maybe technical. I mean, we haven't seen.
Yeah, that's true.
It in anyone's hands, really. So
they could really. Yeah, that's true. You could screw up Unreal pretty badly. I'll be honest.
It's Unreal 5, I believe, right?
It's Unreal 5, but even 4, you would do the same. It's this.
Shadow.
This is the interesting thing. Unreal 4 and 5 are the same engine. It's just normally Unreal was always like Unreal 4. You'd get like point releases, 0.1, 4.1, 4.2, up to like I think it was like 4.23. 2.4 might have, maybe a little higher, was the last one, and then they did 5. And 5 you can consider basically 4-point releases, all bundled into one in a new engine, basically.
Oh, interesting.
Like, it's not a completely new engine is the thing. Like you can convert your Unreal 4 projects to 5 without much trouble.
Yeah.
So that's not so. There's more features in 5, and they added more to the editor, but it's the same core thing. Like the same blueprint scripting I do in 4 is the same in 5. They're not trying. Epic's not trying to like alienate people that use Unreal. It's like learn a whole new thing. Not at all.
Right. Exactly.
They just gave them a lot. I feel like 5 gives you a lot more features that you can really screw up as a developer. Make things look incredible and make things ability to like lots of reuse of content and make things look really cool. But if you do it wrong, your performance is going to suck real bad. And that's always kind of Unreal's thing. Like there's a lot of pitfalls that you can do with it. But they let you make those pitfalls. So you live and learn and don't make them again.
That's what learning is, right? You make a mistake and then don't do it again.
But that's why you see a lot of games on Unreal that sometimes share the similar problems, because these two teams learned or did not learn or know that this was a problem. So I'm hoping Clair Obscur does fine. The previews that they showed didn't look framey at all or anything. Like it seemed like it was performant enough. Who knows what they're recording it on? But I've also seen plenty of trailers and interview stuff like that where you're like, that game's not performing that well. So hopefully it's great. I'm very curious. I
hope it's good because I want that game to be good. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I want it to be terrible at launch and then get good 2 weeks later. So the reviews are terrible. So it helps me in Fantasy Critic. But I don't want to play the game like that because I think that's not fair to devs and whatever else. So we'll see how it goes. I just regret counterpicking it right now very badly. So cool. What about you? What's next? What else is exciting for you?
I'm like, look at what do I have on my pre-orders? That's a good thing to check. So Claire Obscure, actually, I pre-ordered a physical copy of it from Best Buy. Monster Hunter. The only one I'm considering picking up is Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Oh, you're
Definitive
thinking
edition.
Picking up the play?
Yeah.
That seems like. I mean, I don't know if you. I know I've asked this before. I think the answer is no.
You had your Wii U. You had it with me.
Yeah.
I maybe played like an hour. I just was not in the mood for this type of game at that point.
Sure.
I'm more on board with it now after spending more time with like Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition and 3. And I'm like, I want to play the big mechy stompy one.
Yep.
And with all the quality of life improvements and well, it won't be a Switch 2 at that point, but eventually a Switch 2 might be very nice.
Yeah, I was going to chug on this a little bit. Maybe not, though, because the Switch is stronger than the Wii U. It should be fine. Yeah, it should be fine. Yep.
And Monolith Soft is just, miracle workers when it comes to this stuff. So
they're awesome.
I have no clue how, like, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 ever ran on a Switch with how much crap is on the screen at any one given time. Six party member characters and like one guest character all on the screen at the same time running around a world. I don't know how they made the Switch do that. So I'm looking forward to this one quite a bit.
And I've pre-ordered that one. I pre-ordered it last year with one of my coupons. So
nice.
I have like the whole, except for I don't have the DLC I don't have Torna, the DLC for 2, but otherwise I have like all the Xenoblades. Cool. Waiting for me to dig into one day. Actually, that's not true. I started one. I'm probably 8 hours in.
Okay.
Like I am with most things.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of my next one. That's the one that I'm like, yep, I have that. I'm going to get that one.
For me, the next one is Avowed. And again, these are probably none of these are games I'm going to pick up because I'm just not picking up new games. But I'm really excited to see the reaction. The previews and stuff have been making me feel cautiously optimistic that this is going to hit. And I know it moved out of Dragon Age's way, but it might have done well anyways. If the reviews, the previews, at least, we're talking about the consequence of choice, which I think people were, I know I was, missing in Dragon Age Veilguard, which I fell off of after 14 hours, where it just felt too plastic. I keep thinking plasticky. Like the combat was great. The world was beautiful. It ran really well, but the writing and the characters were so flat and just like everything was just so, I don't know, bubbly is the wrong word, but just like everything's great. Like Solus is doing some bad shit, but we're together, we're good. I don't know.
Yeah, no, from the streams I watched on that, unfortunately, I will still say it just did not feel like Dragon Age to me. It's not. Something was they sanded too much off to make it nice, and that's unfortunate. But it's like, this wasn't like Warhammer grimdark, but it was still a pretty dark world overall. That was part of it. There was an oppression to those world through all the games, and there was levity, of course, in all of them as well, which helped fight against that grim darkness, which was actually nice. That's why the levity actually worked for me, was because it was a release from that oppressive nature of like, the world kind of sucks. But everything, I watched a few hours streaming of at different points in Veilguard, and it never it stayed too much in the levity to me all the time. Somehow didn't take itself as serious as I wanted it to at times. I don't know. It just didn't land, and maybe that's just because it's been worked on for so long and so many iterations. Meddling from EA, who knows? Although EA would never say they meddle, but they will have gates, and they will have they are still corporate overlords who will approve things moving forward.
Yeah.
So usually based on like user feedback, or like small like playtest sessions, but that can create something that feels very samey. I will say that. Because people don't know what they want in the end a lot of times. They know the feeling that they want, but as a designer, my thing has always been, you'd always take the feedback and you look at the feedback, but players don't actually know exactly what they want.
Right.
That's part of design, is figuring out from the feedback you're getting what actually needs to change to hit the emotion of what the player wants, is asking for. It's very hard for players to diagnose the actual problem overall, in the moment. So, and sometimes I would say EA and a lot of the big companies focus too hard on those small focus groups and like, oh, no, like look at the data that we have. It shows you need to do it this way. And you get things that are samey and not feel very constrained or in like handrails, basically. You're like, yep, okay. Don't rock the boat too much. But
that's what it felt like. It felt like don't rock the boat too much. Like, I don't know if it was focus tested to death, but it kind of feels like that. I just have no desire to go back to the game, and that sucks because like it looks nice, but it's like I was getting nothing out of it story wise at all.
Yeah. So Avowed doesn't seem that way to me, honestly.
No, Avowed seems different in a number of ways. The choice, the characters, you can actually, apparently you can dig all the way down and be really mean, which was missing in this game. So,
you can be mean. It definitely looks like Obsidian doing their like, hey, we want to continue our Pillars of Eternity world in a new way. And that helps. Like they've really built up really an interesting world. I love the worlds of Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2. Even though I didn't really finish them because those games were just real long.
Yeah, right.
But they had neat characters, like a neat world set up neat, like main character set up, and I'm rooting for Avowed to actually land that in the Skyrim first person fashion. I'm being like a little grander, more grand, a little bit more spectacle than their isometric RPGs are.
Right.
Man, when is that? That comes out soon, like a couple weeks.
It's the 20 or the 18th, I think. Let me go back to the last.
Yeah, it's like it's before.
18th, yeah, it's before Yakuza, like a dragon.
So much
pirate Yakuza.
Oh,
this month is nuts. This month is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Rift of the Necrodancer, Civ 7, Avowed, Pirate Yakuza, Monster Hunter Wilds, and some other things I'm sure I'm missing.
Man, it is crazy. Kind of can't believe all of them are coming out like that.
Well, and Assassin's Creed Shadows is like, I'm out of here. We're going to March. Bye.
Again, they're trying. Oh,
yeah, we'll see if they hit March.
So hard. I feel they will. I'm like, either they're out of here, but it doesn't speak that they are confident in their game, that they're still wanting more time to, polish and fix. Because I think if they were ready to release, they would release. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Avowed though. I wouldn't mind a meaty RPG. I don't know when I'll play it necessarily. I guess I could get Game Pass and I could just play it that way.
I'm waiting for a couple of the Game Pass games to stack up and then just get like a month and just dabble and see if any of them hit. I want to try South Midnight. I want to try Avowed. I think there's another. Oh, Claire Obscure is on Game Pass as well, and that'll tell me if I want to pick that up long term. So I'm just going to dabble in each one and see what, I guess that's what Game Pass is for, right? Try them all and see what you want to buy.
Or for most people, dabble, see what they like, and then never buy it. So
Well, that's true too. I'm just gonna get a month. I'm gonna time it. I'm just gonna get a month of Game Pass because I'm trying to be careful of my budget. So
Yeah.
a $20 Game Pass Ultimate for 1 month seems just pretty good, as opposed to like buying 3 new games or whatever.
Yeah.
So, help me manage my budget because those tariffs are gonna. I mean, I'm not gonna do it if it's too high, but those tariffs are gonna eat into my Switch 2 reserve.
Oh yeah.
So the Trump tax. Good job, bud.
Yeah, I wonder where those are being put together. I wonder if they'll put them together in Japan and then ship them here from Japan.
That's interesting. Or they're like, we've had these done for 2 years now.
Yeah.
They've been in a warehouse in California.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Nintendo to have actually already pre-planned a little bit on this and have stuff potentially staged and ready if something like that happened. But, whew, yeah.
Hope y'all like your tariffs on your 50 series cards.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yep.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to upgrade anyways, I guess, so whatever.
Yeah, it's fine right now. I'm not either. I'm perfectly happy for the moment.
You have a 4070 Ti? Is that what you got?
No, I have a 3080 Ti.
Oh, you have a 3080? Why? Oh, maybe I'm thinking of Travis. I don't know.
Yeah,
3080 Ti.
Yeah, I got it when the 40 series came out. I was like, comparing, I was like, no, these got much cheaper and they're fine. Mostly because I do 1080p gaming. Like my monitors are only 1080p, so I'm like, I don't need anything crazy.
Yep.
And honestly, any of the things, I've even looked like maybe I'll do a 4070 at some point if prices come down, maybe even just a used.
Yeah, when someone's trying to upgrade and sell you theirs.
Yeah, like a 4070 Ti or a 4080. Yeah, because there's going to be a lot of people. I say a lot of people, if they can get the 50 series card, will upgrade.
If they can, yep.
Yep. But for the time being, I'm fine. I can run Cyberpunk with full path traced beauty with DLSS at 60 FPS on 1080p. I'm fine. That's my current go-to for performance. If I can hit that, pretty sure I can hit anything coming out for a while.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing 1440p. That's as much as I want to do. I have a 3060, and the games that I'm playing seems fine. I haven't had any issues. So
yeah. Is that Avowed? What's coming up next for me? There's kind of some small stuff, but there's stuff towards the end of the year that's not dated yet. But probably outside of Wilds, my next game that I'm like, no, this year I really want to play is Ghost of Yotai.
Oh yeah, dude.
I think it's this year. I assume it's this year. Sony needs a big game this year, and they haven't really announced anything else that could be this year right now. So I assume that's their fall winter game, holiday game. But yeah, I want that game really bad. Holy crap. I may be even more excited for that game than I am for Monster Hunter.
Wow, that's saying a lot. Jesus.
I just want to run around Hokkaido, which is the region that Yotai is set in. I'm just like, I just want to go on a virtual trip to Japan playing this game.
I mean, I love the shit out of Ghost of Tsushima. I platinum that game. I don't spend much time platining games anymore. So I'm skeptical it's coming out this year. I don't know. Sony hasn't done.
I think they want to land it. They want it this year. If it's actually going to happen, up for debate. But I know Sucker Punch has been working on it for a while.
Yep.
So this isn't like suddenly they're like, oh yeah, we're announcing this and we haven't even started work on it, or we just started. It's like, no, this started almost immediately after Ghost of Tsushima was popular and got enough success. This was greenlit. I bet they had this planned, but even before that, going if this is popular, this is the next thing we would do.
Right.
So, I'm sure they've been working on this for, when was Ghost of Tsushima?
2020.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So I'm sure that this has been started pre-production sometime in 2020. And I bet it's been in at least full development for 2+ years.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they don't have to reinvent the wheel with it. That's the other thing with it. Ghost of Tsushima is launching a franchise, and the whole style of play and the engine that they're using, the whole thing. And Ghost of Yotei gets to build on top of that and not have to be a complete ground up endeavor. It's not a new platform. It's still PS5, so they can use this. They're using the same engine. I'm almost certain.
It's going to be hard for me not to get that on day one. Man.
I mean, that seems fine. Just save some money till the end of the year. Get it day one. We'll all play together, and it'll be great.
Yep. Looking forward to
it. But yeah, that is definitely one that I'm looking forward to.
For me, ones that are not on the list, I don't know. I guess I will say this before the last one. I've got two more. So I am, and I don't think it's because I'm looking forward to watching a car crash. I'm really hoping this game is good because it's by the team that did Odyssey. But Assassin's Creed Shadows, I am looking forward to how that lands. I'm looking forward to if people find enjoyment out of it. Because it's something that's I definitely won't get it day one. I know that Ubisoft games go on sale eventually, even though they've slowed the sales down quite a bit with their last few games. Like Star Wars didn't go on sale to 50 until Black Friday, basically.
Yeah.
And then Pandora took a while to go on sale, but I think this will go on sale before I'm ready to play it. But I hope they land this plane. I know that there's just so many headwinds against this game. I know there's frustration about the main characters, some legitimate criticism and some not. Sure.
Yeah.
And then just the Ubisoftification of games and how everyone else has lapped them in the open world areas. So I don't know. This could be not great, but honestly, if this is a 70 or above, like it's still, I think, a game that I want to play. I'm just hoping it's an 80 or above. Because that means it's going to be pretty good. But like, Syndicate was in the 70s. Syndicate was like a 76.
I know you really enjoy Syndicate.
I fucking love Syndicate. So I don't need it to be, a 90 plus for me to enjoy it. Although if it was a 90 plus, that would be like a must play, for me. Like on launch kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, Syndicate was Syndicate was the first one, was after Unity, right? It was the next one.
It was, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they were dealing with some backlash because Unity was not good.
No.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Mostly Unity was buggy as hell. Yeah. That was
Remember
the problem.
Fucking head models were gone. It's just like eyes popping out.
Yep. Unity just had some issues. I would love AC to actually be good. Even though I counterpicked it, I still want a good game. I'll be honest. I want the feeling I had when I was playing Odyssey again.
Yep, that's what I want to do.
I don't know if they're going to give it to me, but
we put so much fucking time into Odyssey. I had like 130 hours. Yeah. I think on one of my raps, it was like the game on PS5 you played the most. It was Odyssey.
Yeah. I had a blast with that game.
Head over heels for it.
Absolutely blast. Just exploring that world. Yeah, doing the same things over and over again like you do in an Assassin's Creed game, but I enjoy doing those things. Yep. That was the part about it. I was like, no, I enjoy this. Which I didn't from Valhalla. Like, I just got very tired of Valhalla.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
Even for me, Origins, like I probably 20, 25 hours into Origins, and I was like, I just don't like this very much. I don't know why Odyssey hit differently than the other two. So I'm just hoping it's the same team. That doesn't mean it's the same people. It's like the ship of Theseus. Like the ship of Theseus left with those sailors, and when it got to their side, it wasn't those sailors anymore. So it's the same ship. I don't know.
Hard to say.
Hard to say.
What was? Because I hadn't messed with an Assassin's Creed. I did Odyssey, and the one I had done before that was Black Flag.
Damn.
I took a break. I enjoyed Black Flag a lot.
Yeah.
What were the games? Which 3? Then there's Black Flag. Yeah, I didn't play Unity, Syndicate, or Origins. Like, I played Black Flag, and it was mostly I didn't play Unity because I loved this franchise. I played every Assassin's Creed. Yeah. Oh, I love Brotherhood. I still think that's the best of all of them. I mean, I played through that. Revelations was fine. It wasn't bad. It wasn't Brotherhood, but it was still very competent, and I had a good time through it. 3 was weird. I never beat 3.
Oh, the America one.
Yeah, it was just kind of weird. But I wasn't, again, not bad, just odd. Black Flag, really fell in love with Black Flag. Unexpectedly. I'm not huge into the pirate thing, but man, the characters were really fun. What you're doing was fun. And then it was Unity whenever I was like, I'm going to play Unity. This is going to be great. It's coming out. It's like, here's one specifically for the PS4 generation. And then the reviews and how buggy it was, and everyone was like, I can't touch it. And then I just fell off, basically. I just was like, I think I'm done, until Odyssey kind of sparked my interest again.
Yeah.
And so at this point, I want another good one, but
is this one it? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if feel bad saying it. I don't know if Ubisoft as a company is in a place where they can make it right now.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
they've been going through some trying times. They did put out Mirage, not Mirage.
Assassin's Creed Mirage, the one that came out last year.
No, not Mirage. Why am I spacing on the name?
What's the setting?
It's the Metroidvania one that just came out.
Oh God, yeah, Prince of Persia, Lost Crown.
Oh, that's Lost Crown, not Assassin's Creed. You're right. Yeah, that's why I was getting confused. That was cool. Good job.
That was really good. I mean, I didn't finish it, like I tend to do with all shit these days, but it was incredibly more than competent. It was really good. Some people's game of the year, in fact. So, and then Ubisoft looked at it and said, we didn't sell enough because we were too stupid to put it on Steam. So we're going to disband the team and you won't get a sequel. Great. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
They just didn't support it.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So the other game, I mean, honestly, I could probably come up with like 5 or 6 more,
sure.
But the next one, major one that I'm looking for that I'm sure will be this year, sometime summerish, Metroid Prime 4.
Ah, nice. Yeah.
I love the Metroid Prime games. And God, the Metroid Prime remaster is so good. And I'm so excited to see another Metroid Prime. It looks great. It's probably on Switch 2. That's why they're holding it. And they said it would be on Switch and Switch 2. Maybe it's just one cart. Maybe it's Switch and then it just plays better on Switch 2. I don't know.
I wonder if there will just be like a patch to make it run better, or if it's just or whatever. It just runs better because the hardware is better.
Yeah, but I'm so excited for another outing in the Metroid Prime world, and one that doesn't require motion control.
Oh my God, yeah.
That was the only downside to 3 was having to use the stupid motion control. What had the trilogy? Which one was that on the?
Trilogy was on the Wii U. It
was on the Wii U. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I picked it up because Brad was like, "You have to play this." I'm like, "Okay, cool," and I'd never played it. So.
Yeah, the first one is in my opinion, the best one.
I need to play it on Switch. I have it. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
It's fantastic. It shows you how you can do, like, even at the time when that came out on like the GameCube, it just showed you how you could do a like real thinking person's first-person shooter. What you would expect out of a Metroid game, like that Metroidvania just translated to a first-person shooter.
Exactly.
And it worked really well, and it had such nice little touches everywhere. God, it was so good. So yeah, Metroid Prime 4. Very excited for it. I'm sad that Amazon canceled my pre-order after 7 years.
Does that tell you that it's going to raise its price, or just like it's been so long?
I don't know at this point. Probably this is going to raise the price, and the SKU itself is probably changed from what they were originally doing with it. I mean, it was 7 years.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I'm like, did Nintendo tell them to put up a pre-order page, or did someone at Amazon just put it up whenever they showed the title cards 7 years ago? I don't know, but it was sad. I was like, come on, I want this pre-order to actually end up being a game, and it did not.
I want to have the record of having the longest pre-order.
Yes, but no. So we'll see. I expect we will see Metroid Prime 4 at the April 2nd Switch 2 big big thing. Metroid Prime 4 is definitely gonna be there.
Yep. I agree. Well, my last one is the same as yours. Not same as yours, but in a similar vein. Just insert first-party Nintendo game here.
Sure.
It could be Mario Kart. It could be 3D Mario. We don't know what's happening, but whatever the first-party Nintendo game this year, I'm fucking all in. If it's Metroid Prime 4, if that's the only one, then I will go play Metroid Prime and get ready for it. I can't wait for a new Mario Kart. I heard some speculation. This is not a rumor even. This is just like, wouldn't it be cool if, but someone's like, what if there's a track editor? Like that would be a cool way to use the mouse functionality.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Just Mario Kart is my jam. I love it. We love playing it with my family. We have a great time. So whatever Nintendo's got to launch with their Switch, I want to play. Unless, of course, like I said before, if the fucking tariffs push that price out of control, I am not going to be doing that.
Yeah.
I will fucking wait because I have lots to play. And I will, as I've mentioned, my goal is to spend less on new stuff this year, just to not any sort of stand other than I have a lot of old stuff that I want to play. And I've been doing that, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And it's been great. And January, I didn't spend a single penny on anything video game related. And that's the first full month I haven't spent any money on anything video game related, I think, and since like 2014. I've always bought at least something, even if it's just like a $5 game on Steam or whatever, or my Humble Bundle subscription or whatever. But I spent nothing last month. And instead, I played quite a bit. So
not a bad Switch.
Yeah, worked out so well.
I mean, with that, what have you been playing? Like, dude, clearly you played a bunch of stuff.
So remember last week I was like, nothing's really hitting.
Yeah.
So you're like, hey, why don't you check out Final Fantasy 9? I did. Final Fantasy 9 is pretty good. Let me tell you. The writing is a little rough, just because, I don't know if it's the character limit or whatever. Like, we need to pack something into this screen, and we don't have that many screens. And I just don't like the main character, Zidane. Is that right?
Yeah, Zidane
has not rubbed off on me very well yet. I find him a little annoying. But I like Steiner. I like Vivi. I like Garnet or Dagger.
Yep. Vivi, my heart for Vivi forever.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
I love Vivi, and that if you continue to play the story, Vivi's character arc is so good.
That's very cool.
All the characters have great arcs. I think you'll like Zidane as time goes on. He follows in the normal way of Final Fantasy protagonists of that time, of being fucking obnoxious to start, and becoming less so as you play the game.
I hope so, because I'm getting Cloud vibes, right? Which is like annoying at the beginning. And I didn't play 8, but Squall, I guess, is maybe the same way. So
you might love Squall. I mean, there's a part of me that, like, I understand people finding it super annoying, but I find Squall he's a fucking teenager. He's just, and they put a lot of his internal monologue. He doesn't talk a lot, but you get his internal thoughts.
Oh, great.
And
internal
he's
monologue of a teenager.
Yeah. And so there's a part of me that's like, there's that angst. Love it. Just let me, he's very angsty. Really, more than anything. So, some people find, teenage angst really annoying. And it can be, living with a teenager now, but, sometimes I really do appreciate it still. So I don't know. I don't hate Squall in that way. I was fine with 8, but
not, I just think, so first of all, when you recommended it last Sunday, I played it Sunday, I played it Monday, I played it Tuesday. I haven't played it since. Oh, that's not true.
Okay.
I played it again, Saturday morning. So I've put 4 hours into it, and I kept coming back to it. I was like, okay, there's something here. I'm coming back to this. I'm enjoying this. I like playing it after having played quite a bit of 7, because it's the same idea of like I don't know if this is the right term, but like the pre-rendered backgrounds that you run around on.
Yes. Yep.
And it's doing that same thing, but it's better. They've figured out how to do it better, which is really cool. It's not all washed out. It kind of looks cool. I like the fact that you're like thrust into like a Shakespearean play in the first hour, and then you're like fucking battling is awesome. I think that the battling, and this is probably because I'm playing the Pixel Remaster at the same time, which we'll talk about in a little bit, is slow. The battling is slow.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I could kind of like 2x it a little bit.
Nope.
And there's been some battles that I've lost with I forget which boss it was in the ice cavern. I had to do it like 3 or 4 times and kind of just figure it out. And it was good because as I was figuring it out, like the mix of, you give myself a potion because the Zidane versus the boss, like who pulls up and like summons a fucking sea lion.
Right. Yes.
Ice sea lion or whatever. But all your friends are asleep. So it's just you. And you're like balancing, like, basically attacking the caster and then going after the sea lion. And I had to balance when to hit the potions. And then it's just RNG, or sometimes they'll do like a super move, like a tsunami or a Blizzara, and then hit you again before you have time to do something else. That just wiped me. And as that was happening, I was like, oh, I love this. Like, I love figuring the logic of it out and like balancing your offensive with your defensive, with your potions, and just like, this is Final Fantasy. And I'm starting to understand the people who are looking at 15 and 16 are kind of like, no, this is not what I come to Final Fantasy for, because it's very different. And like, this is almost like cozy for me. And I think it's, because of how much I played last year. I played 1. I'm currently playing 2. And loving, like, this is becoming one of my favorite game series. And that's like wild. Like, if I go back 10 years and like, hey, you're going to love Final Fantasy, I'm like, what are you talking about? But making myself sit down and play it so I can talk about it with friends, like, has made me sit down and play them and realize there's so much to like about this battle system and the way that things interact and how the characters develop. I love that Zidane and Steiner don't get along. It's really great.
So good.
It's so good.
Steiner is so good. Such the obnoxious knight.
Yes. Oh my God. He's like playing that part to like a T, where like the prince or whatever Garnet Dagger is like, no, I don't want to go back, you dumb motherfucker.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, he's not kidnapping me. Shit.
I'm leaving. God. Steiner. Yeah. And then you have me, who then got to 12 and was like, I love 12. That's my cozy place.
But 12 still has a lot of, add everything I just said and then add gambits.
It has gambits and then it revert. It's still an ATB system. They're reversing the ATB system, as in you pick your move and then it charges and goes off, as opposed to waiting for the bar to fill, then pick your move.
Well, that fucking bar is so slow in Final Fantasy 9. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I mean, that's a common complaint now with 9, is that it's slow.
Oh my God, it's so fucking slow. But it's not frustrating me as much as I thought it would. So there's that at least.
Yeah. That is a common complaint now. Like, back in the day, we didn't complain. We're like, this is just more Final Fantasy. This is what you do. And I honestly don't know if it's necessarily slower than PS1 7 and PS1 8. Mm-hmm. Like, without any kind of cheats or speed ups or anything. I'm like, is the bar slower than those? I've never gone back and checked if the ATB feels differently. It might. I could see them tuning it per game, kind of based on how complexity they want to get the game to.
Well, I was just hoping that there'd be an item that would like let me speed that up at some point, but maybe that's not a thing.
I mean, maybe there's I don't know. I'll be honest at this point. I thought it's kind of tied to stats, but
yeah, maybe.
But I could be wrong there. I didn't know if there's a speed stat or anything. I'm looking. Level, increased physical damage. Handled ATB. Anytime you're not in the menu, everyone's ATB fills at a rate dependent on that unit's speed stat.
Okay.
Haste status causes that unit's gauge to fill at 1.5 times speed.
So that's great.
You
There's
probably want to invest in haste.
Yes, exactly.
That's what you're saying.
There's stuff that I can do, then that's exactly what I want.
Yeah, but it's a speed stat is what makes it go faster. So there you go. That's cool, though. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Oh, so much.
I have fond memories of that one.
At the same time, I'm playing Final Fantasy II. Actually, this week, I haven't even touched the Final Fantasy II section that I need to be done by tomorrow night because I've been playing Final Fantasy IX. But, same thing. It's great. I really, really enjoyed the black sheep of the Final Fantasy family. But the other one I played this week, I played 3 times this week. So I played the game almost every night this week, except for last night. I went out with my wife to the casino and spent the night for our anniversary. But I, because of all the Citizen Sleeper 2 hype, I'm doing the thing that I'm trying to do this year, which is to go back to the first one of whatever is in the news. So I went back to Citizen Sleeper 1, playing it on PlayStation Plus Extra. I had it on Steam Deck, and I probably started like a year ago, and got moderately, maybe an hour or 2 into it. But this time I restarted it, and I'm really paying attention to the game, and I'm being rewarded for that, paying attention, like really remembering, reading, getting into it. I'm just like, oh, I really get this now, and I really fucking dig it. And it's all reading, which is great. A couple nights I've used it as my 10 pages of reading because I, read for a fucking hour basically. So I'm really, really, really enjoying that. I'm probably 2 hours in right now, maybe 2.5. So,
nice.
So that's what I've been playing. That's all.
For me, weirdly, this entire week, it hasn't different than last week. I played a lot of Diablo 4. A lot.
All right.
Well, on PlayStation and on like Steam Deck. God, it's great to have crossplay in that way because I own it on both.
I see 18 hours on Steam right now. That's great.
It's so good. I'm like, all right, I can just play this on my Steam Deck. And it plays great. I've played a lot. I'm in like Torment 3 now, like definitely getting up to like high end maxing out gear. I'm getting mythic gear now. Like the purples, the very nice stuff. I just really like the mechanics of that game. It just feels so good to play, and it's such a flow state. And with the hell of the world right now, flow state is what I like being in.
I get that.
It can just kind of melt away into the game, into like the flow of the abilities I'm triggering. And I'm thinking about like my just muscle memory is kicking in, and I'm just going, and I'm going real fast. I have this very zoomy build. And it feels great. They continue to push that game really well. I know PoE 2 is the hotness right now, but I can't get into that flow state with PoE 2. It's not a game you get into flow state with. Because it's challenging. Like, you have to be very mentally engaged all the time with PoE 2 because you could really just screw up and just be one shot. And sometimes I don't want to be that mentally engaged, and it's okay. And Diablo is the game series that gives me the ability not to be that engaged, and it feels good. So I played a big chunk of that and been really enjoying that. I actually have the Citizen Sleeper 2, and I'll probably start playing that.
Oh yeah, because you played that for judging, I think.
I did. And it is, I played it enough to be like, oh, this is more Citizen Sleeper. This is good. But I want to dig deeper into it. It's definitely what I had played and much more expanded than the first one. It gives you more to do. It's a little bit more, honestly, I would say even in the first, like the 2-3 hours I played of it was like, oh, the decisions are real complex that I'm making here. Like hard decisions, because if I do this, I can't do that, and whoa, how's this going to play out? And which is neat. Like, I would say Citizen Sleeper and this one too are the closest you'll come to a tabletop RPG in a video game. It just has that feeling, like, and your decisions do matter. You're like, yep, I'm going to try to solve that in this way or do this thing. And it sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the dice fuck you.
Big time. Yep.
But that's what it is. That's what it is. And so
I really like
I'm
games
looking
like
forward
that.
to that. Yeah.
I like games where you commit to your decision. Like, yep, I rolled a 1 here. I've lost access to that pathway. So let's see what happens in another way.
Yeah. See if I can find another way around this. And I put in that's true. I put in like another half an hour into, Grand Blue Fantasy.
Okay. Where are you at?
Doing missions from the town at the moment.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay.
So just kind of pushing a little forward and stuff. I have a friend here who I brought it up with a couple weeks ago. And he's already at like in game, close to like level 100. Like he's been playing so much of it.
Wow. That's impressive. Well, that's a good one.
And everything I play it and I'm like, yeah, this is because it's, Psy Games who made it.
Right.
And they did, Dragalia Lost on mobile.
They're the ones that did Dragalia Lost? I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And so there's like, I'm like, yeah, I feel the DNA in there of Dragalia Lost was free to play, gotcha. Actually Nintendo published mobile game. It's no longer available anywhere. I think it's been completely shut down at this point.
Well, the voice actor was Victor Hunter, I believe, the main character who is on the Axe of the Blood God podcast I like.
Nice. Yeah. So it feels like Grand Blue Fantasy Relink is them taking a lot of that DNA that they learned from Dragalia Lost and being like, how do we do this in a premium game that's not gacha based, but still has a lot of the same, mechanics, like a lot of the same, pattern dodging in its combat. Cause that's the big thing with Dragalia Lost was lots of, shapes and patterns coming out with bosses and doing dances around it. A lot like Final Fantasy XIV. I think Japanese, real-time Japanese action people like their what I've called the dance of the combat. So it's neat to see them moving that way, and I'm wondering, I think it did well enough. I'm hoping they do more with Relink, or a sequel.
Yeah, especially in that style.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I'm in chapter 4 now, and I'm going to get back to that one as we move through the year. That's just a fun one. That's just a very bright, happy, like you have a whole cast with you. It's just like fun. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's true. That's a lot of really, really fun games there, and things to do. And one of the crazy things, I watch it and they put up maybe I said this on the podcast before, and the weird incestuous nature of the Japanese game market. The artist on Grand Blue Fantasy, who is it? Hideo Minaba is, he did stuff on Final Fantasies.
Really?
Very cool. He was the art supervisor on Final Fantasy Tactics. He was the art director on Final Fantasy 12. And War of the Lions. He worked pretty hard with that team and then left sometime in like the 2010s, 2011. I want to say he left with Akihiko Yoshida, who was the artist that came with, the crew that did Battle Ogre.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And did Tactics, and like, they're like really good buddies. And I want to say they actually like started a freelance company together, and you see Akihiko Yoshida and Minaba doing art together. Cause I know that, Yoshida also did art for Grand Blue Fantasy as well. So incestuous. I look at the character designs and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the Tactics artists right there, and 12 artists just doing their thing in a new place. So, is it weird that I follow these people and what they do? Because I'm just like, I love work, so I will at least look at anything that you make. Yeah,
it's not only the art you love, but it's also your career. So
yeah, so
makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think it's Psi Designation. I think I've searched that before. Yeah, Psy Designation is a division inside of Psy Games. That's an art contracting place where Akihiko Yoshida and Minaba work. Like, they started it. Yeah, so that's why that art looks the way it does.
Well,
and they've done art for like Nier as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of crazy that way. So yeah, I think that's really all I've been playing. It's been fun though. This really just have a few weeks to wait for Wilds. Just wait. I guess if Avowed gets the really good reviews, I'll jump into that. If I
through Game Pass
fresh.
or.
Yeah, probably. I'd probably just do a month of Game Pass to try it out. Is it getting a physical release at all?
Yeah, I believe it had a collector's edition.
Okay.
I think it had a physical edition.
But it's only coming for... It doesn't have a PS5 version. It
does not, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so it wouldn't matter for you. Because I got a physical version of an Xbox game. Neat.
Yeah, they're not getting physical PC. Actually, I think I looked at it. Like, the collector's edition gave you a code for PC.
Yes,
if you want. I'm just like, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't need statues and stuff.
Right.
I literally just want a disc that has the bytes on it, please.
Yeah, it says full game digital download. Yeah, that's right. 2 skin packs. Oh, shit. Yeah. Huh. I guess I'm going to go to Amazon real fast and look. But I thought they had a physical version.
I bet
Unlike South of Midnight, but let's find out. Yeah, it's there.
Okay.
Well, that's a digital. What the fuck? Oh no,
they're all digital codes.
Oh shit!
All right,
that I got fooled because I didn't. Yeah, those are digital codes. Okay. No, I guess there's not a physical version.
Yep, that's Microsoft. They are slowly moving away.
Yeah, guess so. Well, I mean, a lot of the discs are pressed in Mexico, folks. So get ready to pay 25% more, apparently.
Yeah.
Outlaws.
Avowed Premium Edition Steelbook.
Yep. Letter from the developer.
Includes Avowed base game up to 5.
Map, art book, soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's digital art book, though. Map of the Living Lands. That steelbook was dope, though.
Steelbook.
For just to have on your shelf. Yep. Just to have on your shelf.
Boo.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, everyone. I just want physical media. I like having physical media.
Well, we're at the point now where the government is just erasing the fucking terabytes of fucking data from the government website, so all this digital shit can go away pretty quick.
It can, but it's been I've been heartened.
Archived.
Been archived pretty well. There's a whole subreddit called Data Hoarder, and they've been talking about that because there's been people basically at the end of every year going back for quite a long time that just download all the government websites, everything that's there.
Good.
And just have a full digital backup of it.
God bless them.
So now that they're seeing this is happening, they are going even crazier, being like backing up as much stuff as they can.
Look, when Game Informer went down and the archival process that happened just through the MinMax subreddit or fucking Discord, like, yeah, I'm sure this is happening for government.
That's the thing that I'm hopeful generally about in that is that information is hard to actually destroy now.
Yep.
Even you can try as much as you want, but if it's been on the internet, it's almost never gone at this point. And people will save it because people want to save information. It's a lot harder to erase things forever. Because I know there's plenty of people that would love to be able to, but
yeah,
information's out there, and people want to save it. So,
well, especially like the fucking CDC data. Like, gee, we're in a fucking dystopia, man. Crazy, crazy. Well, here I go. Now I'm downloading the full archive of the cdc.gov.
Yep.
Whoa, holy shit. It's 98 motherfucking gigs. Oh,
doesn't surprise me.
I don't know if I have 98 gigs. Wow. Wow, man. Wow. Well, anyway, thanks so much, everyone, for listening to our podcast. Anything else for you this week?
No, not at all.
All right. Sounds good. Well, this is Prof and Dev Play Games. If you like us, please rate us on your podcast service of choice. Tell a friend. We'll be back next week too. You know what? Here's what I want to do, Anthony. And you tell me if this is going to work for your time frame the next week. I was going to ask you last week, but I knew you were busy this week. What if we came back next week with a list of our 25 favorite games of all time and shared a list of our 25 favorite games? Or are you too busy this week?
25. I don't think I'm too busy. I can come up with that. 25 is a lot, though.
You want to do less? 15?
Well, I don't know. Are we going to try to talk about all 25?
Good point.
Or do we do this over? We can talk about it. Maybe we can do it over a couple weeks.
We could do it over a couple of podcasts.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Top 25, do 5 per. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
All right, let's do that.
Sounds good. We can do that.
Awesome. Very cool. All right. All right, folks. Well, thanks for listening, and we will see you next week.
Later, everyone.